If you've ever had problems with father abandonment, if you've ever struggled with a father wound, if you ever grew up with an absent father, if you've ever carried resentment for years, if you've ever wondered why did my father leave, I want you to pay close attention because this video is for you. Maybe you never knew your father. Maybe he walked out. Maybe he was in and out of your life. Maybe he promised to show up and never did. Maybe he told you that he'd take you fishing. Maybe he said he'd come to your game. Maybe he said he'd call and he never showed up. And now you're older, you've got responsibilities, you've got bills, you've got work tomorrow. Yet somehow the little boy inside still has questions. Questions like, why wasn't I enough? Why didn't he stay? What was wrong with me? Why did my father leave? And if we're being honest, many fatherless men carry those types of questions for decades. Some call it daddy issues. Some call it broken father relationships. Others may call it anger. Some call it emotional healing. Whatever you name it, the pain is real. The father hunger is real. The resentment is real. And if you're wondering how to forgive your father or begin healing from fatherlessness, I want to help you today. So let's talk about it, but more importantly, how to fix it, because your future is too important to let this room keep leading your life. Now, the first thing you need to understand is this. You cannot heal what you keep minimizing. A lot of men spend years pretending they're fine. It doesn't bother me. I'm over it. I don't care. Yet every time fatherhood comes up, something stirs inside. Every time they see a healthy father and son relationship, something hurts. And every time they think about childhood, something feels unfinished. And here's the truth. Your father's absence mattered. It shaped things. It affected things. And it left questions. And healing begins when you're finally honest about that. Not to stay angry, not to become a victim, but because you cannot heal a wound you refuse to acknowledge. I remember talking to men who would spend 10 minutes explaining how much they didn't care while spending the next hour explaining how much it hurt. That's a clue. Pain that is denied cannot be healed. So here's your first challenge. Write down honestly, what did my father's absence cost me? Confidence, trust, security, identity? I want you to answer that honestly, because honesty is where healing starts. Now, here's the second thing. Your father's absence was not proof that you were unworthy. Let me repeat that because I need you to understand this. Your father's absence was not proof that you were unworthy. Many boys secretly grow up believing if I was better, if I was smarter, if I was more lovable, he would have stayed. But that's not true. A boy would naturally interpret abandonment personally. He doesn't have the maturity to understand adult dysfunction. He simply thinks something must be wrong with me. And that lie will follow many men into adulthood, into relationships, into marriage, into friendships, leadership roles, into their relationship with God. They're still trying to prove they're enough, still trying to earn love, still trying to earn approval. But listen carefully. His decision was not your identity. His failure was not your worth. His absence was not a verdict on your value. So here's your second challenge. Stop asking, why wasn't I enough? And start saying, I was always enough. Because the problem was never your value. The problem was his brokenness. Now, here's the third thing. Understanding him does not excuse him. It frees you from being confused by him. This is where maturity begins, because eventually many men discover something uncomfortable. Their father had a story too. A past, a childhood, wounds, failures, pain. Generational curses are real, and broken men often produce broken patterns. Many fathers never had fathers. Many fathers never had mentorship. Many fathers never had leadership. Many fathers never had stewardship. And many fathers are carrying pain nobody addressed. That doesn't excuse abandonment. Let's be clear. Again, understanding is not excusing. Wrong is still wrong. Damage is still damage. Pain is still pain. But understanding helps answer the question, How could someone do this? The answer is often broken people tend to pass down what they never heal. So here's your third challenge. Ask yourself, what may have shaped my father? Not to excuse him, not to remove accountability, but to gain understanding. Because understanding removes confusion, and confusion often keeps resentment alive. Let's move on to the fourth thing. The wound becomes dangerous when it becomes your blueprint. And this is where many men get stuck. The absence that hurt them begins shaping them. Now they're emotionally unavailable. Now they don't trust people. Now they're angry all the time. Now they avoid vulnerability. Now they're afraid of commitment. Now they're becoming the very thing they hated. And that's heartbreaking because the wound was never supposed to become your identity. The wound was never supposed to become your future. The wound was never supposed to become your blueprint. At some point, a man must decide the pain stops with me, not because it's easy, not because it's fair, but because someone has to break the cycle. Someone has to end the pattern. Someone has to stop the generational curse. Why not you? So here's your fourth challenge. Identify one unhealthy pattern you refuse to pass down. I want you to write it down, own it, and fight it. Because healing isn't just about you, it's about the people that come after you. Now, let's move on to the fifth thing. Forgiveness is not pretending it didn't hurt. It's refusing to let hatred father you. That's one of the most important lessons I've ever learned. Many people misunderstand forgiveness. Forgiveness does not mean it was okay. It wasn't okay. Forgiveness does not mean it didn't hurt. It did hurt. Forgiveness does not mean trust is automatically restored. Sometimes it isn't. Forgiveness means releasing your right to carry the burden forever, because hatred is heavy, resentment is heavy, bitterness is heavy, and eventually the person carrying it suffers the most. I've seen men spend decades angry at fathers who haven't been around in years. The father left, but the resentment stayed and the bitterness remained, and it kept shaping everything about them. Their relationships, marriage, leadership, faith, life. That's why forgiveness matters, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve freedom. So here's your fifth challenge. Pray honestly, not religiously. Honestly say, Lord, I'm hurt. Lord, I'm angry. Lord, I don't understand. Lord, help me forgive what I cannot heal on my own. Because fatherly wounds require God's help, and there's no shame in admitting that. All right? Now, let's bring all this together. If you struggle with father abandonment, father resentment, a father wound, an absent father, healing from fatherlessness, or a broken father relationship, remember this: you cannot heal what you minimize. His absence was not proof of your worth. Understanding him does not excuse him. The wound cannot become your blueprint, and forgiveness is refusing to let hatred father you. Now, be sure to stay tuned to this channel, because I'm going to follow up this video with another video about how to find your way in manhood when you didn't have a father to show you the way. And before you go, like always, I want to ask you something. What has been the hardest part of your journey? The anger, trust issues, feeling unwanted, or forgiveness? How did you overcome it? I want you to drop in the comments below. You may be surprised how many men understand exactly what you're carrying, and your insight may help free somebody else. I also want you to check out Book 1, Discipline Over Desire, Mastering the War Within, and Book 2, The Weight of Leadership, Authority Without Control, if you're searching for ways to hone your discipline and have a more focused and successful life and be a more effective leader. I give insight on how to do just that in both of those books, and the links in the description below. I also want you to join the King Sports newsletter. It's free, and I give weekly insights and rotate on various topics: masculinity, discipline, leadership, emotional maturity, fatherhood, and spiritual growth. And be sure to check out the next video I have on here somewhere. And subscribe if you're serious about becoming the man your pain tried to prevent you from becoming. All right. Turn on those notifications and remember, the story doesn't have to end with what happened to you.